Good evening, people. Protege again. Last episode was pretty good, so today's episode I'm going to talk about how logic versus emotion. All right, so I kind of like it because I guess I kind of have both. I have like a bleeding heart for people. Yeah, you could say. I think I have a bleeding heart for good people most of the time. But I'm also a logical person too, so like I follow logic to the highest degree there is, So like if things don't make sense, it kind of like annoys me. Well, it does annoy me. So let me just put it that way. Like things always have to make sense for me. That's just the way it is. Like if it doesn't make sense, like yeah, pretty much this. I have to figure out why it doesn't, and then try to solve it, by figuring it out. So like emotion mostly stems from like from women. A lot of women tend to be more emotional than they are logical. So like that's where like men and women mostly butt heads because a lot of women are more emotional than a man. So like when they get into an emotional state, they impairs their judgment. So it messes up their judgment, causes them to think a little bit less and probably do things from an emotional standpoint that doesn't make sense to a man because we think from a logical standpoint, if that makes sense. So logical versus emotion is a very serious thing. It's very, very like debatable topic to discuss. And like, so basically, like I said, I'm logical. So like, if I'm dating somebody or if I'm with somebody, like, I guess I would want them to be very logical as well. But I don't even know if I've ever I don't know if I ever dated someone who was more logical than they are emotional. I think it's usually the other way around. In my case, it's all about how they feel, and then they tend to forget like, well, what I'm doing kind of doesn't make sense to John, so and he probably doesn't understand because he's more of a logical thinker, than he is emotional, which is true, but it's really hard to for me to like to basically deal with someone who doesn't I don't want to sound insulting, who kind of just doesn't want to think more than feel. So like I feel like I'm gonna have a lot of arguments with that person. Like if I'm with him or whatever, I feel like we're just gonna have tons of arguments all the time. Cause I'm gonna be like, why did you do this? Why did this happen? And I'm gonna be like, so you chose to do this based off of what knowledge and expertise? Oh, because you felt a certain way, so you just decided to do that because you felt this way instead of just actually thinking and and then deciding, or maybe even consulting me and then acting on it, But a lot of times, like and I really don't blame women for like the emotions that they have. Like I said in a couple episodes back, or towards the beginning of when I started my show, like a lot of them are just they're nurturers, so they tend to feel a lot more, and that's a good thing because I mean I would like a woman that cares, basically, and definitely cares about me. That's a lot, but I guess in some cases that's too much to ask for, especially with certain things I'm going through right now. But that's another topic. But anyway, so like I said, as a man, I feel like logic should always trump emotion, because like there's a saying. It says, don't never let emotions cloud your judgment. Don't ever let that happen." And it's true, because like when you do that, you start doing things that can cause more issues to arise. Especially in a relationship. When you just, well, you wasn't talking to me, so I just decided to do this, and I'm like, okay, well, we eventually were gonna talk. So then the logical side of me comes out when I'm explaining it, or my side of the story is like, well, we were eventually gonna talk, so we could have worked this out, So, but like I said, there are emotional men too. They're out there, whatever, I guess, lot of us don't show the emotional side because I guess we are men and we don't like to show that we weak. Just being the fact that we men, and I get that. So but I just wanted to touch on that topic real quick. Logic versus emotion. Excuse me, ladies. Just try to like use a little bit more sense, and try to use the brain that was given to you when it comes to certain things, especially when dealing with men, because that's how we are. We have to think first, you know, and show our emotions later, if you will. So just try to work with us. We're not perfect. Nobody on this earth is perfect. So, but I feel like we definitely have to have both emotions when it comes to certain things, because you gotta sometimes you can end up in certain situations where emotion will take over. You know, and I guess we need to have a heart in a sense when it comes to dealing with people and dealing with our significant others. We gotta have a heart. We can't just like be like, well, all right, we're gonna do this, and then not think about the consequences. But this is Protege. Miss Jaw. Hope all is well. Like I said again, I'm not on Facebook anymore. So, I'm either on Instagram, you can check me out there, or I'm on YouTube, Protege Bolden Show. Alright, y'all. Take care.